Hello everyone, and welcome to Total Television. You ever heard of Bridgerton before? Of course you have. If not, it's a new Netflix original series, adapted from Julia Quinn's best-selling novels. It follows the titular family as they navigate the 1813 social season in Regency London. There's a lot to take in during Bridgerton's first season, and a lot of fascinating secrets you have missed. That's why today we count down the top 10 secrets and hints that you've probably missed in Bridgerton Season 1. Watch till the end. You'll be astonished by the artistic detailing in the show. Before we dive in, don't forget to check out our other top 10 content after this, like the video, and hit the subscribe button so you can enter our PlayStation 5 giveaway. When we reach 1,000 subscribers, we will be selecting one of you to win a free PlayStation 5. Good luck, and on to the video. Number 10. The recurring bee is a shout out to Julia Quinn's novels. Before we enter the Bridgerton house for the first time in episode 1, we can witness a bee on the family's door knocker. The fuzzy insect also appears on the windowsill when Daphne gives birth in the last episode of the season. So why should we care about a tiny bug when there are balls and tea parties to fascinate over? Well, it's a notable clue about Bridgerton's past. As you remember, the death of Edmund Bridgerton is slightly mentioned yet never fully explained. However, fans of Quinn's original novels know that the patriarch died from a bee sting. He transferred his eldest son, Anthony Bridgerton, the family's estate, and an intense fear of bees. You can find out more about the traumatic effects Edmund's death had on Anthony in Quinn's second novel, The Viscount Who Loved Me. At the end of the finale, the bee could signal that the second season of Bridgerton will follow the book's order, shifting Daphne's focus to Anthony. Chris Van Dusen, the show's creator, also approved that the bee is a significant symbol and thematic element on the show. Number 9. Buckingham really had renovations in the early 19th century. You may remark that King George III and Queen Charlotte's home is under reconstruction in Season 1 of Bridgerton. Van Dusen explained that the real-life royals moved the residence from Buckingham House to Buckingham Palace in the early 19th century. He wanted to give a historically correct representation. Number 8. You can hear modern-day pop songs throughout the show. Harps and string quartets are dominating on Season 1. However, the instruments actually turn out covers of pop hits from 200 years in the future. You might remember Ariana Grande's Thank You Next fills the air at the season's first ball. Taylor Swift's Wildest Dreams can be heard in the background of Simon Bassett and Daphne's rain-soaked love scene. Chris Bowers, who created the series' original tracks and covers, teamed up with Vitamin String Quartet and Duomo to compose orchestral renditions of songs like Maroon 5's Girls Like You, Shawn Mendes's In My Blood, Celeste Strange, and Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. Number 7. Daphne has a cut from her corset. Unless they're preparing for nap time, the high society ladies of Bridgerton are typically well coiffed and done up. In Regency England, it meant to wear a corset. You won't see any characters directly complain about the structured and restrictive undergarments used to shape their bodies, but there are definite hints about the daily discomfort women face to obey society's beauty standards. For example, Prudence Featherington bends over as her maids squeeze her corset tighter in episode 1. Her own mother shows her disappointment that her waist is more extensive than an orange and a half. Another example is when Penelope Featherington asks Portia, "Is she to breathe, Mama?" who only pulls strings harder. Finally, Daphne, the cherry of the season, doesn't share a peep about her pain. But for a second, in the first episode, viewers can see bruises and cuts from her corset as she gets ready for a social event. Number 6. Each high society family has its own colors. Attentive viewers will notice that each family in Bridgerton has its own unique color scheme. The Bridgertons are almost always in soft blues and pinks, while the Featheringtons are in bright light colors like orange, green, and yellow. Costume designer Ellen Morojnik shared that it's not a coincidence at all. They're the leading family of the social season, so we made their color palette to be powdery. These pale silvers, blues, and greens that feel like whispers of color. The Featheringtons are new money, and Portia has to marry her daughters off. She establishes the tone for them as a family, and their color palette is excessively citrus because she wants those girls to be watched. From the book, you can find that the Hastings' family's colors are gold and red, and you can see Simon frequently wearing it in Season 1. Number 5. The bird feather accessories and cages at parties may be a metaphor for women's place in society. Many young women in Taunton wear feathers in their hair on Bridgerton. Still, there's one particular scene that seems like commentary on gender in 19th century society. In episode 3, Daphne has a tiny feather pointing from her hair at one of the balls. As she whirls around the room with potential husbands, we can see bird cages in the background. You might thoughtlessly believe this is a party decor, but for the brightest of us, bird feathers and cages could also be a metaphor for women limited by society's rules. Eloise supplies this theory in episode 5 when shopping with Penelope Featherington.
I have never understood the fashion for feathers in the hair. Why would a woman want to draw more notice to the fact that she's like a bird squawking for a man's attention in some bizarre ritual?
The cast and crew described the event, also known as the Bird Ball, due to the gentlemen strutting around like peacocks for attention. Number 4. Daphne is often surrounded by white roses. Remember the flowers Simon plucks for Daphne on their promenade? Or the bushing behind their scandalous makeout in Lady Trowbridge's garden? White roses frequently pop up in scenes featuring Daphne. White roses symbolize purity and innocence, both features expected of a young debutante in Regency England. Number 3. Gunter's Tea Shop was an actual place in Regency England. Gunter's Tea Shop, the final place to see and be seen on Bridgerton, existed outside of Van Duzen's cotton candy-colored universe. The store even had the same name when it stood in Berkeley Square in the 19th century. Number 2. The portraits hanging in Buckingham Palace look like the actors that play King George III and Queen Charlotte. Bridgerton plunges fans into a more inclusive, diverse world, and Van Duzen made sure no stone was left unturned while creating it. When Violet and her handmaid walk through Buckingham Palace, they pass by portraits of King George III and Queen Charlotte. Instead of depicting the real-life royals, the showrunners created paintings that look like the actors, James Fleet and Golda Rochouval. Number 1. Willmond is based on a real boxer named Bill Richmond. Will is Simon's boxing coach, his closest friend in London, and his second in a duel on Bridgerton. Despite his success, the professional fighter starts to grow weary of his career. It seeks a more financially stable future for his family. Van Duzen confirmed that the character, who didn't appear in Quinn's books, is based on a real-life boxer named Bill Richmond. Richmond was born into slavery in Staten Island in 1763. He made a successful boxing career, which was an outlet that helped him escape servitude and abuse. How did you like our video? Would you like to see more info about the Bridgerton series? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss an upload and to enter our PlayStation 5 giveaway. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching Total Television, and see you in our next video.